In the opening months, the mould for a new kind of war was cast in the West. Industrialized states locked in conflict. Over 7 million men armed with the latest technology. 11 million civilians under brutal occupation. And by 1914, his successors had no illusion that there was any swift victory to be had in a two-front war. Indeed, at the start of Germany's war, there was an air of pessimism, desperation, improvisation. General von Moltke, the German commander, acknowledged the Germans went to war less with a master plan than a recognition that they would have to take the war bit by bit. And the first bit was Belgium. The Germans knew Britain had guaranteed Belgian neutrality, but reckoned Britain would come into the war sooner or later, whichever route the Germans took into France.
The monster advanced in two parts, pulled by 36 horses. The pavement trembled. The crows went mute with consternation at the appearance of this phenomenal apparatus. Then came the frightful explosion. The crowd was flung back. The earth shook like an earthquake.
Were firing at them from garret windows and rooftops. In fact, most of the shots came from small units of retreating French and Belgian soldiers, or from nervous German troops shooting at each other. Nevertheless, General von Moltke issued a warning to the people of Belgium.
Anybody who, in any form, participates without authorization will be considered as franc-tireur and summarily shot on the spot.
Rare German newsreel of suspected franc-tireur being taken prisoner. Lurid stories filtered back to raw German troops leaving for the front, heightening their sense of paranoia.
At all training sessions, we're told about the nastiness of the French, that our wounded have their eyes gouged out, their noses and ears cut off. We're given to understand we are to act without mercy.
The pressure to maintain a speedy advance through a hostile population led to atrocities. These were not just the impetuous actions of frightened troops. They became part of a systematic plan to terrorize and demoralize the enemy.
We've been task and we'll be famous forever.
The Belgian town of Tamines on the 22nd of August 1914. French troops kept up a storm of fire at the advancing Germans from across the River Sambre. Think of the First World War, and you think of trenches. There was mobility elsewhere, in the East and Africa. But the war on the Western Front was bogged down. The challenge on both sides was to find new ideas, new weapons, new spirit among the men. Only then could they break out and win. Governments in the First World War feared one thing almost as much as military defeat: revolution.